Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's Daily Draft. We are once again drafting Wilds of Eldraine today on a heater in this format. I think this is the 6th non-live stream draft, and I guess if you include live streams, I think I have 8 drafts and 5 trophies so far. So we are, over a 50% trophy rate. I will take that any day of the week. Having a great time with the format, understanding what's going on, having a good idea of these color pairs, what's good and what's not. It's a good time. We draft a lot here. That's what we do. That's what we do here at Daily Draft. If you are new here and you like drafts, you're in the right spot. Speaking of drafts, so you can pack one, pick one. Hello again, and we've got an interesting one today. We've got Sir Ginger the Meal Ender, 2 mana 3/1 with a little bit of upside, but not much. There is the Princess Takes Flight, a great white build around, and Red Tooth Vanguard, 2 mana 3/1 Trample. Whenever an enchantment enters under your control, you can pay 2, and if you do, you return it from your graveyard to your hand. I think those are our 3 options here. Sir Armont is probably the best card in this pack, but not the best to pack one, pick one, because the fact that it's gold. So I'm debating between a good 2-drop in Vanguard or the Princess Takes Flight, which you can build around by taking this early. I do really like green decks. I've played a lot of green-white. I just trophied with green-blue last week. This is very difficult here. I think I'm going to start with Princess Takes Flight over Red Tooth Vanguard, but I would not at all fault you for going Red Tooth Vanguard here at all. And holy cow, do we have some good options in this pack. Back for Seconds is a great bargain kind of card draw spell. You get cards from your graveyard to the battlefield, and if you bargain something, you get to reanimate one of those. We've also got Taken by Nightmares and Candy Grapple and Stab Wound and Rowan's Grim Search. All of these are outstanding. I don't know which is the best here. Because we already have a Princess Takes Flight, we're going to want to take bargain cards. Taken by Nightmares is good. I would never cut this from a black deck. Stab Wound is good. But Candy Grapple is the cheapest of this, kills the biggest thing, and bargains away our Princess Takes Flight. So I think that's what I'm going to take here, but boy, are we putting our neighbor into black by doing this. But there's no way we could really avoid that. So it's what it is. All right, Lich Knight's Conquest. No, that is garbage, which means I guess we're taking another Princess Takes Flight here. And we're just going to be on the lookout for basically anything that says bargain on it. We're not locked into black-white. But we're going to go ahead and take this. Cursed Courtier, I don't think wheels, but would probably be good in the style of deck that we are drafting currently. No bargain cards here. So what else do we have? Discerning Financier, Slumbering Keep Guard, Shatter the Oath, Minstrosity. Not a huge fan of really anything in this pack. I do like Obira's Attendants in some blue decks. I guess I just take a Shatter the Oath, and I kind of hope I'm not playing it. I haven't tried Keep Guard enough to know if this is great or not. But it is cheaper than Shatter the Oath. I think if we want removals, we're going to get removal if we're in black-white. I'm actually going to try out this Keep Guard. It's the saddest 4th pick I've ever had. But then we get past a Witch's Vanity. 2 mana, destroy a mana value 2 or less creature, create a food, create a wicked roll. All of this is just great for 2 mana. You really can't pass that up. There's also a Prophetic Prism, which would be good. No bargain cards here except for the Stopgap, which we could take, but I don't think that's worth it when there's a Witch's Vanity here and we can get into black. Now we've got a bargain card in Rowan's Grim Search. I think this was a pretty easy Grim Search here with double Princess Takes Flight. We've also got a Prophetic Prism, but let's go ahead and take Rowan's Grim Search and cut our neighbor out of black. Only white cards here are garbage. Basically everything here is garbage except Stopgap. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the best card in this pack, which is Stopgap. And maybe we play it, maybe we don't. We're not missing out on anything. Okay, now we've got another Stopgap. There's a possibility we could just go blue-black here. Not taking sneak attack. Don't care about either of these. Baronauti is fine in some blue-black decks, but we could also go blue-white if black... I think our neighbor is going to cut us out of black hard in pack 2, which means we could end up blue-white here. Princess into Stopgap next turn is great. But let's see what we get, what we open and what we get past here. If anything wheels... We've got some options as to what we can do. Can go blue-black, can go black-white, can go white-blue. Let's just be Esper. All right, where's the holdup? Drake. Hotline Bling no more. Rhapsody. Okay. Let's see what we got on the wheel. Basically nothing. The only card in our colors is Rhyme for Reindeer, so I guess I'm cutting white. I don't think I'm moving into any of these colors for any of these cards here. So let's just cut that. Holy cow. All right, Back for Seconds wheeled. I was debating taking that the first time around. So we'll take Back for Seconds, passing a Grim Search and a Return Triumphant, but definitely want Back for Seconds. Gonna go ahead and cut the Armory Mice because Griffin Airy doesn't matter. I mean, it does in some food decks, but white doesn't really play around in the food space very much. Now, interestingly, we only have one creature for Back for Seconds, but ideally, we end up with at least a few more here. Again, could very easily be blue-black with this start. If we open Obira, if we open Talion's Messenger, if we open Talion himself, if we open that black mythic rare that like is a board wipe, all of those things can kind of push us toward blue-black. As opposed to black-white here. Clothier, I mean, could be a card we could play. So we'll just take that, throw it in the sideboard. Probably not playing it, but we'll see. If we open Hilda, I might just abandon black and do the blue-white thing because, well, I don't think blue-white is good. Hilda is. We don't really have anything that goes with that except for Rhyme for Reindeer, I guess. What do we get last pick? But a Griffin Airy. Sure. Alright, what do we open here? When it comes to white cards, Pollen, Shield, Hair. 2-mana, 2/2 creature tokens you control get +1/+1. That's about the only one we're casting. We're not casting Hair Raising. We've got Rhyme for Reindeer, not taking that. We do have Johann Stopgap, and we do have the Obira that I mentioned. So I wonder if we just take Obira over a third Stopgap here in Dark Tutelage and just see if Blue-Black Fairies is open for today. Immediately regrets everything. Godric is a great, great card that we can't really take. But what else am I taking in this pack? Cheeky House Mouse for black-white? Besotted Knight for black-white? Fell Horseman, I guess, could go in blue-black? Aquatic Alchemist might actually be decent with 5 spells already. I guess I'll take the Horseman. I do not feel good about it, though. And just like I expected, black is already cut here. So, If we're going to do blue-black, we have to get all our blue cards this pack. Which means I could be taking blue cards to hedge toward blue-white. There's also Witchstalker Frenzy here to splash yet another color. But I'm looking at Mocking Sprite and Obira's Attendance as the two cards here. Probably ditching the white at this point. But we're not going to get any black this pack at all. We'll get it all in pack 3, I think. So I guess we'll take the Mocking Sprite. Once again, only a Sweet Tooth Witch, but there is a Splashy Spellcaster and a Tenacious Tome Seeker and a Prophetic Prism, interestingly. Maybe we take the Prism and potentially get enough bargain cards to splash these Princess Takes Flights. No black, once again, as I expected. So Gadwick's first duel. We have Candy Grapple, Back for Seconds, Grim's Search. I don't think this copies the stopgap if you bargain it. I'm not sure that's how that works. Although on the stack it has mana value 3 or less. I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and take that. I don't think I'll play it, but we'll see. Ooh, Archive Dragon is a good one. 6 mana, 4/6, Flying Ward 2, and an ETB's Scry 2. Also another Prism and Frolicking Familiar. And a Stroke of Midnight. Let's take Dragon here. Attendance, Gadwick. We don't really have any reasons to be going blue-white right now is the problem, so I guess I just take Obira's Attendance and stick down the blue-black train. Don't care about Succumb. Probably not a deck that cares about a tail for the ages. Not dead after all. We aren't really heavy creatures yet, so I guess just a Vantress Transmuter, and not super thrilled about it. So we gotta really hope we get hooked up with black in pack 3. Wow, Pollen Shield, Hair Wield, Tutelage Wield, Shadow the Oath Wield, and Misleading Motes Wield. I don't think we're taking Tutelage. We've got some bargain, not a ton yet. I'd like more. I think Motes is better than Shatter. So I'll take Motes. Well, lots of red, including a Hearth Elemental that's going to be 11th pick. Ooh, another Obira's Attendance. Don't mind if I do. 2-drops aren't looking great right now. There is an Aquatic Alchemist, but I don't think that's the 2-drop we want. All the blue came back, including Tenacious Tome Seeker. That's pretty good for us. That also has bargain, so we'll take that. And a Diminisher Witch. That could be playable. Alright. If we are blue-black, we're looking at Hopeless Nightmare. And at this point, I'm pretty sure we are blue-black. Definitely getting rid of this. We'll see if we need to keep these in. We could just take a Prophetic Prism here, but I love Hopeless Nightmare. We have double Stopgap. We have Grim Search. We have Back for Seconds, Tome Seeker, Diminisher Witch, Candy Grapple. A bunch of bargain in this deck. So I'm going to go ahead and take Hopeless Nightmare. As much as I love a Hopeless Nightmare, not as much as a Candy Grapple, so I'm going to go ahead and just snap this one up pretty easily. Boo, we have to pass Glutton. Feed the Cauldron versus Vermin here. We're just like a classic control deck, I think. And if we can figure out a way to get these Princess Takes Flights in here, we have like 8 or 9 cards with bargain on it. So I think they're going to be pretty good. Currently have how many fairies? 4? The Mocking Sprite's pretty good. 5 instants, 3 sorceries. Fairy Dream Thief, 1 mana, 1/1, ETB Surveil 1, pay 3 to exile it from a graveyard. You'd gain 1 life, you lose 1 life and draw a card. There's also a Feed the Cauldron here. I think I'll take Fairy Dream Thief. It seems fine over a second Feed the Cauldron. All right, more removal. Fairy fencing with 5 fairies. Sure. Barrow Naughty, Obira's Attendance. Up the Beanstalk is a card I have yet to draft, but really want to. I think I'll take the 2-drop here. Fills out our 2s just a little bit more. Is a fairy. Rat Out, Snaremaster Sprite, Ashiok's Reaper. We don't really have fairy synergies necessarily. I guess the only synergy is Barrow Naughty and Obira, but those aren't really synergies. So I think I'll still take Sprite though. Ooh, stopgap pick 8. Don't mind if I do. Alright, so are we playing these Princess Takes Flights? Currently, no. And I don't think we need them. 12 creatures. Which means we probably don't play Prism either. And then we cut like Transmuter, Fell Horseman. Maybe a Diminisher Witch if we can get away with it. Sleight of Hand might be fine. We don't care too much about casting cards. This goes well with Gadwick's First Duel. It goes well with... not much else. Guess I could play a 3rd Attendance. What is our bargain fodder now? Hopeless Nightmare. Gadwick's First Duel, Witch's Vanity, but we don't really want to be bargaining those. Feed the Cauldron. We don't have a lot of bargain fodder here. So I wonder if the Prism is fine. This is bargain fodder, but I don't think I want that. Maybe that makes the Princess Takes Flights worth it. Ooh, a Feed the Cauldron on the wheel? Sure. We only have 1 Prism here. We are very controlling with this deck. So we probably have time to play these princesses. Let's see what looks like in deck building. So again, we've got just the Prism to splash this, which is not outstanding. So what can Gadwick's First Duel copy? It can copy Double Candy Grapple, Double Feed the Cauldron, Back for Seconds, Rowan's Grim Search, and that's it. I don't think that's great. Witch's Vanity has to stay because of bargain fodder here. Barrow Naughty's good enough. Sleight of Hand might not be good enough. A 3rd Attendance might not be good enough. Let's cut 1 Attendance and Sleight of Hand. Probably run down to 2 here and then 8 here. Still need 2 cuts. I mean, I kind of like everything. The back for seconds isn't at its best in this deck, to be honest, as much as I like this card. It does have bargain on it, though, which is always good. If we're going to play these two Princess Takes Flights. I guess I could cut, like, Snare Master Sprite. It doesn't really have any synergies, necessarily. It makes our Baronati have lifelink, but that doesn't matter too much. Guess I'll cut a Sprite, and then... Do I cut this back for seconds here? That leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards with bargain on it. That's a decent amount. What if we just splashed one of these? Left that at 2, and then ran it like this. With 7 or 8 bargain cards, I think the Princess Takes Flight is almost a free splash. I mean, it makes our mana a little bit worse, but we do have a Prism. And it's very good if you can bargain it away. Exile something and then, you know, give your Baronati +2/+2. Or give your Tome Seeker +2/+2. Everything we have has flying except for the Tome Seeker, which is interesting. Maybe it's just not worth it. I'm just worried about bargain fodder is the thing. So like we cut that and then we play Sprite, and now the only bargain fodder we have is Hopeless Nightmare, Prophetic Prism, Witch's Vanity gives us 2. Feed the Cauldron could give us 2. And that's it. Anything else that could give us bargain fodder up here? No, none of this even gives it. Well, Vantress Transmuter kind of gives us something, but I don't think that's worth running it. Okay, well, you don't have to bargain all of these cards to have them be great, right? You can still cast Stopgap for 4 and it's okay. So I think we'll keep it like this. Run it with more black than blue here because the black is on the lower part of the curve. And try this one out. A little bit of a different take on blue-black. Almost kind of just like blue-black control here with a tiny little bit of fairy sub-theme. We'll see if it has what it takes to succeed. See you in game 1. Alright, starting off this draft on the draw with a pretty good hand. When you have Hopeless Nightmare on 1 into Obira on 2, you gotta keep it. So we will do just that. Playing against red aggro here. Red-white. Alright, can we survive? Let's make them burn the activation on Gingerbrute here if they want to get through Obira. Make them burn a mana. Looks like they will. Picnic Ruiner. Creature power 4 or greater. It gets double strike. Okay. Guess I'll play Mocking Sprite, and we have to take 5 now? I don't know if this is a race we win, but... this is going to be tough. that makes it even tougher. For sure. So I have to do this and look for a black. If I ever want to cast this, it's got to basically be now. We got to top a swamp. Play the swamp, cast fairy fencing on the bodyguard, get our creature back. And then start trading, potentially. I suppose I'll let Feed the Cauldron be one of the 4 I can choose between here. So let's do a swamp and Feed the Cauldron. Do this. I guess we're doing it for 0, but it gets an additional -3/-3 if we control a fairy. So we'll go ahead and do this then. And now we have to start trading. We can't really afford to try to race this here. Okay. Ginger Brute to the rescue. So what if I did this? Take 3. Still lets us trade Obira for the 2/2 next turn. Really just got to stabilize here. The Feed the Cauldron is going to give me a food here. And I think we've got to feed the Ginger Brute. We want to try to survive. Okay, get the food. Trade Obira and eat the food, I guess? I mean... Double bottom. I guess I don't have to eat the food. I could bargain it, but 3 life against red-white is going to be pretty good. Wow, okay, they just held it back. Well, in that case, I'll just go to my turn. Play a land, play Archive Dragon. And now things are looking pretty darn good for us. Yeah, that has to be good. And in case they can pacify this or something, I'm still just going to hold Obira back. This isn't... Attacking with Obira isn't going to make a difference in us winning or losing here. Or winning. It will make a difference with us losing, potentially. Like if they have cooped up for the dragon. Okay, they're going wide. Going wide here. We can get back Obira's Attendance and Mocking Sprite. I don't think I'm going to bargain here. I need the food. Would I rather hold up Attendance or Candy Grapple? I think I would rather hold up Attendance here. That's a quick way to lose a game, because that card is absolutely incredible. You go to 1? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Imidane's Recruiter is a heck of a card. Okay. Still alive. Hit for 7, go down to 6. I think they have a land in hand. What could we die to? If we attack with both of these, I mean, I have died so many times in spots like this where I attack with both of these creatures and then they just play like, you know, haste creature into Imidane's Recruiter, kill me. So if I attack here, they go to 9. Next turn we can attack for 7, 8, and pump and still kill them. So they're still dead next turn. So I'm going to play this safe and hold this back. And we got it. Okay. Played it safe and we managed to stabilize there. That's how you stabilize and win against red-white. That's a tough one. Alright, once again on the draw. But we've got a removal spell for a cheap creature if they play a 2-drop. We've got a 3-drop. And a 4 if nothing else comes our way. Fine by me. As I get to Vanity here. Sentry is pretty good. Most mana efficient thing for us to do is just to play Mocking Sprite, so I think I will. We get a Wicked roll on it next turn if it survives. We are choked on blue mana, unfortunately. Would love to draw an island. That is tough. It's going to be a tough one to crack. Okay, island is good. Put that there. So I can play Obira to ambush their Snare Master sprite. Question is, do I want to bargain something away to get rid of their sentry for now? And I think I do. Probably getting rid of the food here. And then pass the turn. And I think I will try to ambush their sprite. That worked out. Continue to draw lands, unfortunately. Now we can start getting in. If I play this, they pay 2, they tap it, they hit us for 4, but then we have 8 damage in the air continuing to come unless they can deal with it. Alright, this also forces them to pay 2 on their turn if they want to attack. 2-turn clock if they can't deal with it here. Our hand is dead now, but maybe we'll draw something. Maybe we won't. Who knows? The Wicked is the one that deals a damage, right? Yeah. So that's also decent for us. Archive Dragon would be a great draw. I mean, we've got some good draws here. We've also got some bad ones, but, you know, yeah, that's a good one. I can deal with that. All right. Can't deal with flyers. Yeah, blue-white. Blue-white is not among the best decks in the format, for sure. Okay, we go first this time, and we do have Prism on 2, which opens up some black in our hand, even if we don't find a swamp. It also draws a card. So maybe we'll be okay. Another island isn't exactly what I needed, but there have been worse draws. Probably just playing Sprite next turn, and then going from there. Oh, tough cookie. That is difficult. Again, don't need more islands. I could have killed the tough cookie there. Probably do it this next turn. So here's my thought now. I'm going to use Feed the Cauldron on Tough Cookie. Then I'm going to block the Scavenger. Give it -4/-0. And then if they sack a food in response or use a combat trick, I can Candy Grapple in response to that. Because they can only do that once each turn. And there's a decent chance they just go for the food activation first. And then I can just grapple. Oh, that's even better. So let's just We do have to bargain now, but that's okay. I guess they could have like royal treatment or something, but we'll go ahead and get our clean 2-for-1 there. Okay. Another scavenger and a land. Sure. Back for seconds with no creatures in the yard, unfortunately. So we'll get in and then just start playing our flyers, because flyers are good. And are usually just enough to win some games. Hollow Scavenger. Witch's Mark. Wait, I don't need to do all of that. 1, 2, 3. Shouldn't have played my land. Based on what I draw here. I don't think I have any double blue in the deck. So if I go like this, I could draw a black card. Trying to think on double blue. I don't think I have any. They do get a bunch of food if we do it this way, but usually eating food is not a way to win in most games. So we can Tome Seeker, bargaining away Prism, and then cast Stopgap. We don't want to have any more bargain fodder for Candy Grapple, unfortunately. And then now I think we have lethal in the air if all they can do is just replay their creature here. Galefang with haste is fine. See if they have a Curse of the Werefox or something? No? Make more food and then eat it? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we don't have lethal. Can we do any funny tricks with Tome Seeker and then bargaining, or and then getting it back here? So we attack, they block it, we get it back. We play Vanity, we bargain Vanity, and we get Candy Grapple. Do we have enough mana for that? So we attack, we pay 2, we still have 5 mana. We play the Vanity, we bargain the Vanity away, so no, we just don't have enough mana for that. we doing anything else? I mean, no, we're not doing anything else this turn, so I guess we just do this again. Alright, they go to 2, we go to 12. They have 8 mana. They're effectively at 11 right now if they want to be. If they leave up all their mana. Now they have to eat a food. Oh, now they just die. Sure. Forget the part where you lose 2 life? Looks like they did. Okay. Not too bad. Close game there, but we managed to squeak it out and get up into Diamond. We are just cruising along and up the ranks here in this format so far. Alright, we go first. Hopeless Nightmare on 1. Prophetic Prism on 2. Seems fine to me. Playing against the number 211th ranked player in the world. So we have our work cut out for us here. Got rid of their own Hopeless Nightmare, interestingly. Does that mean they have a second one? Harried Spearmaster. Harried Spear Guard, okay. Back for Second's not doing a lot in this deck. Or at least in this hand, for sure. I guess it's better to get on the board and tap down their monstrosity first. Do I trade for Spear Guard here? Probably. I mean, our entire game is just playing control, so I know they get a rat out of this, but like, what else am I doing? Grand Ballgest Mist Land Drop. Alright, well, I guess we'll try to stem the bleeding here. Another Ballgest. Okay. Guess we'll just keep killing them. Probably just eating a food end of turn here. Okay. So we've got Fairy Fencing here. I could use it on the Emberth Veteran while they're tapped out. The Gingerbrute might be a problem for us, though. do think the Gingerbrute could be a problem here, so we're going to have to watch out. Alright, we're drawing all the lands, they're drawing none of them. But they have a bunch of creatures on the board, and we have none. So that is the difference right now. They're on 2 lands, and they're still going to beat our butt. Is Barrow Naughty even good enough right now? I mean, it blocks this. I mean, I guess. It's not great. Does not have lifelink. They're still missing land drops, and we're probably still gonna lose this game. Okay, there's a land drop. That celebrates. Do I have to use back for seconds just to get a stupid Snare Master sprite back on the battlefield? I don't think I can. We stabilized against the other red-white deck. I don't know if we can against this one, though. Will be tough, that's for sure. We can hold back everything but the Gingerbrute here, but there's a decent chance they've got something in hand. Okay. Alright. The Gingerbrute beats. Rotisserie Elemental. Land. Alrighty, ready for the saddest back for seconds you've ever seen? This is so bad. I just think we're basically dead if we don't do this, though, is the problem. Been a very awkward draw from us this game. Just lots of lands, no creatures, good amount of removal, but they're going wide, so their creatures removal isn't good against this deck. Yeah, like their creatures are just 1s and 2 drops. So our 3 mana removal is just not cutting the cheese here. Yeah, that probably means we're dead one way or another. Here comes Monstrous Rage, going crescendo. Yeah. We were plenty dead. I mean, we're not dead, but we're dead. So, yeah, we don't... I'm not even going to try to draw here. I knew it would be a land anyway, so... Yeah, I mean, they were on 2 lands the entire game, and we still couldn't win. Alright, now we've actually got a pretty good hand here. This back for seconds is just not cutting it in this deck. I mean, I'm wondering if I should just potentially just cut it for like another Obira's Attendant or something. You know, we play against all these Gingerbrute decks, and what is this doing for me? Basically nothing. So I think I might cut it. Alright, so they're going to let me block, which means I'm not going to. Because clearly that means they have a combat trick. Oof, that card is insanely good, and I need to kill it now. As good as Gingerbrute is, this one is better. So... down goes Obira. No, not quite. They're just using that for some more damage here. Likely using the attendants just to gain, you know, gain some life by having them not hit me. And then eat the food. Oof, that's gonna not work out for you. They could still have Monstrous Rage, but that's fine if they have that. Go ahead and hit me for 0 now. Now I go back up to 17. Gonna do this pre-combat in case they have Torch the Tower. But I think they have something like Monstrous Rage. Again, they let us block with Obira earlier when they only had 2 mana. And still haven't showed us what that is yet. So, I think it's Monstrous Rage. Armory Mice, and attack. Yeah, so if it's Monstrous Rage, what does that do? Makes it a 4-2? So it would just trade with Attendants. That would make our back for seconds, like, somewhat relevant. But it does get rid of the Gingerbrute if it is Monstrous Rage. What else could it be? You know, I'm willing to get the Monstrous Rage out of their hand, get the Gingerbrute off the battlefield. We have a way to get this back here. We're not threatened in our life total, so let's just go ahead and... I don't know of a way they survive. Yeah, so, I mean, it still dies. I mean, I guess I'm just getting the 1 back here. This card has just not been great. I think I need to cut it. After this game. Sure. Candy Grapple. That's pretty good. Yeah, both of those are pretty good as well, and they've had enough. Their red-white deck could not get past us. We're playing against nothing but aggro decks here today. Is that what all that exists up here in the Diamond and Mythic ranks? It's not boding well for the rest of the format if that's the case. Alright, we go first with Obira and double removal spell, and Rowan's Grim Search to bargain away the food. Should be good to go here. I did go ahead and cut the whatever the spell I said I was going to cut is, and I just put in a Sleight of Hand. I mean, it's just a cheap card draw spell that just kind of finds us into more action if we need it. So, Back for Seconds was the card that I cut. It just hasn't been good in our deck at all. Every time we played Obira, she has survived. That's not to say she will always do that, but let's see if she dies to Candy Grapple here. Tough Cookie. That is a good card. Let's start here. And ideally Mocking Sprite lives, so all of our cards cost one less in hand, obviously. But we'll see. I think if they're going to kill a card, it's probably going to be Obira, but I could be wrong. I was right. It was Obira. So what do I do now? I guess I just feed the Cauldron on Tough Cookie here. Gives us bargain fodder for Stopgap to cost just 1 mana. Yeah, that's good. It's good against our hand, that's for sure. Can still hold up grapple here now, though. Wow. Sure. Good news, we have a common that deals with that pretty well currently. So, eat my Candy Grapple. Let's Prism, and then we can hold up Grim Search here, I think. Or do we just Hopeless Nightmare? No, I think we just Grim Search away the Prism. We can also hold up Feed, but I think we'll just do Grim Search. Next turn we can Hopeless Nightmare, bargain away Stopgap if we have to. Looks like they're bargaining again. What do they have? Another Stopgap, potentially? Ashiok. Sure. Can't do anything about that. How do we deal with Ashiok? Guess we're about to figure that out. Definitely this. And do I even want to put a land on top? I don't think I do. I don't need another land necessarily. I could, if I draw one, that's fine. I just don't need one. See, we'll draw one anyway. So I could return Ashiok to their hand here. Let's cast Hopeless Nightmare to start. Get a card out of their hand. Cast this with Bargain. Make them just waste their whole next turn again. We could do it again next turn. Then we just get in. So if they cast Ashiok again, it's 5 mana, draw a card, and then I bounce it again. Granted, I mean, they are no Tenacious Tome Seeker. So what do they have for a blue and a green here? Something to kill Mocking Sprite? Kind of. Okay. Is Sprite good enough? They're not doing anything, but probably just playing Ashiok again next turn. I think we can do better than Sprite. Now the question is, can we outrace Ashiok now that we kind of used all of our resources to just keep bouncing it? They do have a food still, which is really annoying. Got rid of a Shatter the Oath. This is tough. Obviously, the only Planeswalker in the set is going to be difficult to deal with here, but we're doing our best. They have drawn about 5 cards off of it so far. So they keep drawing action here. We technically have enough to take it down, but I don't think all of this is surviving to our turn. If I had to guess. No shame in losing to Ashiok. If you lose to Ashiok, then you lose. Sure. Down goes Mocking Sprite. No, down goes Dream Thief. Okay. Yeah, they got a good deck. I mean, they got a really good deck. think we gotta keep these. If we feed the cauldron something, which currently we don't have a target for. So maybe we do it like this? Maybe they just don't have a way to deal with our flyers and we just hit them in the face over and over again. We do have the bargain for hatching plans, and our dragon becomes a 1/1. Unfortunate. I've found that cursed rolls in this set usually aren't that great, but maybe they're better than I think, because every time my opponent plays a cursed roll on my creature, it's so good. They just do it to my Stormkeld Vanguards and my Archive Dragons and my Hamlet Gluttons. It's like, what if I just was playing red-black? Like, this doesn't do anything. Okay, down goes attendance, I'm sure. Alright, we dealt with Ashiok somehow. This might be our only target for this, so let's go ahead and just use this while we can. And then, I guess we're just holding up all of this stuff. We now have bargain fodder for Candy Grapple here. We have bargain fodder for Tome Seeker, which might be better. Depends on what they play. They do have 8 cards left in deck, notably. Okay, so they countered our attendance here. We're drawing a Tome Seeker without bargain fodder, which isn't great. And I'm not going to play it because all they got to do is play either of these creatures and this becomes completely irrelevant. So I'm just not going to play Tome Seeker until we draw something to bargain away with it. Or we have to save our life, potentially. Curse of the Werefox. Yeah. Alright, that'll make things tough. Okay, I gotta get this going. Something interesting we can do is bargain, get back stopgap, return the cursed roll, and then hit for 4. And then they'll be dead next turn. Never mind. Now I think we're dead. Gosh, we got so close. So darn close. 4 cards left. I guess we're not officially dead. What are we doing? Candy Grapple. Stopgap. So we bargain one of these away and then we Candy Grapple the other one away. Or we get back Stopgap. Return it to their hand. They get to use the adventure again? I don't know. I'm not sure there's a way we get out of this either way. So they use the adventure, they hit for 5, they play the creature, they hit for 5 again next turn. And we did our best. Again, we played against Ashiok, and Ashiok is a tough card to beat. We're not officially dead, but we're pretty darn close here. Can we get them to draw 3 cards? Probably not. Is that their 3rd Gingerbread Hunter? What? What is this? What is this nonsense? Yeah, we're unfortunately never beating that deck, so. We did our best, and we fought as valiantly as we could. Okay, we go first this time. We have Sprite on 1 and then a couple of cards, and ideally we draw no more lands. He says, as he will likely draw only lands. Fairy Dream Thief. Alright, Fairy versus Fairy. Sure. There's the land. Okay, can't do much about that. It's a pretty good target for Feed the Cauldron here. I would like to do that on my turn, though. I need the food. I mean, I don't need it, but it can let me Tome Seeker the food back and get Feed the Cauldron back here. Which would then let me feed the Stopgaps bargain. So all this stuff is good. Warehouse Tabby. we'll get that back here. Can't do anything else. That's okay. They're missing land drops, but last time we played against our black-red deck that was stuck on 2 lands, we still managed to find a way to lose, so... what do I know? Go to damage. Tabby gets Death Touch. I kill Tabby. And just continue to stick with this board here. Daredevil, a 4/2. That dies to my other Cauldron in hand. Yeah, that seems pretty good to me. And now it's probably pretty difficult for them to come back here, but it's possible. There are things they can have. They've got a treasure and 4 mana now, so... sure. Fairy Fencing is good. Gives -6/-6 right now, I think? Yeah. -6/-6. So if they play like this stupid Hellkite Scorcher Dragon, whatever it is, we can just kill it. That's a little annoying. Actually, that makes me get rid of every card in my hand. Alright, I have Rankle's Prank graded as an F in my tier list for those of you that aren't patrons. And those of you that aren't, you should be. So check out Daily Draft Patreon. Every time they cast this, it is pretty darn good. It ends up doing some serious work. So... maybe I need to be higher on it. See what we can find. I think I'll just play the flyer, hit them down to 4 here. Have a removal spell to kill them if they just play a single creature. Screen Puff, that should do it. All right, up to 5-2. We'll see if we can get any more wins with this deck. It's going relatively all right. All right, on the draw this time with not a great hand, but we do have Candy Grapple and Rowan's Grim Search, both able to be cast right now. Kill their early play, draw more cards, draw into blue. I think it's keepable for that reason. And now we draw the island, so everything's great. Root Rider Fawn, I think I've just got to kill that here. Can't really have them ramping. Beanstalk Worm. Okay. I'll bluff a counterspell here and probably just cast Rowan's Grim Search without bargain. Here comes Beanstalk Worm. That resolves. 5 lands. This will be a tough one here. I can cast Dream Thief and then Candy Grapple that and block it, but like that could go sideways pretty quickly. I could just play Attendance. Let's cast Dream Thief. Surveil. That doesn't seem very good on this board. And then I guess just pass here. We'll see if they get priority when they attack. They do, so I can't really do the whole Candy Grapple thing. I'll try. Let's do this. Let's Dream Thief, go to damage, gets into our yard. Let's see if they cast some things post-combat. We can kill it down with... Okay. They get to draw cards, but we got the biggest threat off the board here. Yeah, because more lands is exactly what I need at this moment. We need, like, cards that do anything. Bargaining away the fairy? We've got 8 mana. Yeah, okay. Sure. So I do this. I do this. And then I bargain away the Hopeless Nightmare with the Tome Seeker, and I get back... Candy Grapple's not even great against Negotiator as a 4/6. Do we draw a way to get rid of it? Kind of, yeah. So I think that means I can just keep these here and then get back probably just Candy Grapple. We go to 9. That's a card I would have killed for in my deck. This is a outstanding card. That is another outstanding card. So my plan here... that makes this slightly more annoying. Yeah, that's really annoying now. Put it on the Glutton, and now my plan was to Candy Grapple, make this a 1/1 and block it. But they know about that, so they wouldn't have attacked. So now if I Candy Grapple, I trade this and this for that, and then I moats that. This also has Ward 1. Can I do it all? Yeah, I can technically still do both of these things. Put it on top, makes sense. Cast with Bargain, pay... sack the food, pay the ward. And then trade. Okay, Living Lectern, sure. Doing this likely so they have bargain fodder for their negotiator next turn. Which means I just go ahead and get rid of it and draw another land here. We've got 10 lands, so we've got plenty. Okay. They have a counterspell. Kind of. Now they're going to make us discard a card. Resolve. Get rid of it. Come on. That's annoying. Oh, God. Alright, well, good game. Yeah, I mean, we draw things in the wrong order so many times. It's just so annoying. Because now their High Fae Negotiators got bargain fodder with Hopeless Nightmare, so it doesn't really matter what we do here. We get drained to 4, we get attacked down to 2, and then we chump. So... oh, that was such a brutal turn. We had 2 good cards in hand and then could not close it out. Well, the deck went 5-3. I mean, it didn't really have a ton of synergy. It was just like a straight control deck, and we still managed to go 5-3 with it. So, at least there's that. It was still a fun one to play there. I think if we had a couple of our draws go our way, I think we could have had a shot at the 7 wins. But you know what? I'll take 5-3. I will take 5-3 pretty darn often. I'm sure we'll finish with a land here to end it. And even if we don't, I mean, they should definitely play that. There's the land to end it. As I said, the 11th land of the deck. Is what it is. Made it up to Diamond here today. Still on a nice little roll with the format. Playing a different style of blue-black deck that isn't exactly fairies. So... there we go. Thanks for sticking around to the end of this one, and I will see you next time for your daily draft.